Good morning, guys. Wow, we went from spring back to winter real quick in my neighborhood. It's freezing. It's about 32 degrees out here right now. I'm out for a run and had a question come in yesterday privately, and I wanted to address it for all you newbies in real estate that are just getting started, which, by the way, I've spoke on this before and I'll speak on it again. If you haven't started and you've been thinking about it, start now. Follow my channel. Let me help you step by step. Reach out to me if you'd like. You can type any questions down below. Follow me on Instagram. Send me a private DM. I have no problem helping people. Now is the time to start at Phil_Fanote, or you can reach out to me and book a private session with me. bookme.nameextravagantproperties. But anyway, the question that came in yesterday, guys, was when should I double close? And that's an absolute fantastic question. I think everybody, so I have a rule of thumb when it comes to double closing, but I think everybody should understand what a double close is. Double close is when you close the transaction from A to B, and then you close the transaction again from B to C, right? So and it's all for obviously one house, right? So when you do a double close, typically the assignment fee, what you're making is off the books, right? Nobody else can see it because you're closing twice. So some title companies, if they're not very investor friendly, they might require you to have transactional funding to double close. That's not the case with all of them. Some of them that are very investor friendly know how to pull this off without transactional funding. Now, I have a rule of thumb, guys, that I go by. Me personally, I only double close if I'm making more than $20,000 in a spread, and an assignment fee. And it's really just for my buyer to protect my relationship from my end buyer. Because if you position yourself correctly on the seller side when you're getting your contract signed, if you position yourself correctly, you have nothing to worry about, which I show complete transparency with my sellers. I've never had an issue where they looked at the HUD and said, hey, what's this, right? I already positioned myself. I've already explained it before that matter even came up. So I want to touch on that too, guys. That's a very important subject, is how you're positioning yourself with your sellers. But the buyer side, anything over 20 grand, I'm not double closing, or I'm double closing anything over 20 grand, just because, even though I firmly believe that it's not even his business what I make, like, at all. It's none of his business. He came in, he saw the property, he did his numbers, he made me that offer. So the deal obviously has plenty of meat on the bone for him, and he's going to make a nice payday when it's done, because there's no way he made me that offer to work for free. So what I'm making is relatively none of his business. However, I want to keep my relationship with these buyers solid, right? So because if he sees that I'm making 25 grand, he might not want to work with me again. He might say, hey man, 25 grand, come on, you're just assigning this to me, you're getting $25,000. Not all of them are like that, but some of them are. So if you have a good guy that's got a lot of capital and he's ready to close in this area that you're marketing in, and if the deal makes sense and he's ready to close like within a week period, 2-week period, you want to keep that guy on your side. So it's best to double close just to protect the relationship. So my rule of thumb is, like I said, anything over 20 grand. Now talk to your title companies, your local title companies, talk to them about double closing. A lot of them don't even know what it is. So reach out to a couple other wholesalers in your area and find out which title companies are double closing, or that know how to do this kind of double close type of stuff without transactional funding. And if you can find that, build a good relationship with a closing agent at that title company and use them from then on, and you got nothing to worry about. So on the seller side, now let's talk on the seller side about positioning yourself correctly to get this done. So as long as you position yourself correctly, you're not going to have any problems. And what I mean by that is, every time I'm on an appointment, I always let them know that this contract is going to be assigned. Always. I let them know this every single time. I say, hey, this company listed on the contract is just my acquisition company. I'm going to be bringing in a capital partner, and we're going to be closing under his or hers LLC or corporation. You're going to see on the HUD, you're going to see a little bit of an assignment fee on there. You're gonna, if you're confused, if you see a $10,000 assignment fee or something like that, we do that because I assign it to my construction company or to my capital partner, and I just show a little bit of money for my acquisition company, right? So my acquisition company has to get paid. I have to show something on the books. And typical sellers are like, oh yeah, that's cool, whatever. They're very, very, very understanding. Sometimes you get those hard sellers where, you know, they've been down the road with maybe a bad wholesaler, right? They've been down the road with a really bad wholesaler, and they agreed on some number, and then, you know, wholesaler wasn't transparent with them, didn't say anything to them, and then closing day came along, and all of a sudden they see this, you know, $30,000 assignment on there, and the seller wouldn't sign the HUD. And I mean, I've just seen and heard of nightmare stories. So be transparent with what you're doing, guys. Honesty wins always. Treat people like you want to be treated. And I think wholesaling is a great business if you do it right. You have to do it right. You have to do the right thing. You have to be transparent with people. You have to just be honest, be yourself. Don't do any sketchy stuff, and provide these people with a good service, right? So anyway, guys, if you like this, I'm gonna actually be posting a lot of content coming very soon on how to start finding your market, how to start virtual wholesaling and all that, because with this whole pandemic thing going on, I think virtual wholesaling is the best business that you can start right now. Which I have already adapted my business to virtual. So I'm going to show you guys how I found my markets. I'm going to show you guys how I found the hottest zip codes in those markets that have the most transactions, cash transactions within the last year. So if you guys want to check all that stuff out, subscribe to this channel or like it or whatever, comment, I mean, whatever you guys do with YouTube. And I'm gonna go ahead and post more content on this stuff. And yeah, and then we'll go from there. Again, guys, you can book a 30-minute consultation with me. Talk to me, ask me any questions you want. bookme.nameextravagantproperties. I have 2 mentees right now that I mentor, which is great. I like to keep it 3 or under. That way I can give you guys more personal time, right? I can give you guys the more, you know, a mentorship program that fits your needs. So it's not very, if I mentor a lot of people, it's very hard to do it that way. But I feel the only way people get ahead is with one-on-one good mentorship that's tailored specifically for their needs, right? So anyway, guys, it's bookme.name/extravagantproperties. And you can either follow me on Instagram as well, Phil_Finote. And I'll talk to you guys later. Hope this helped.